Yes, Schem is the one. Back to the one. He's jumped around here, missed the Schem, but when he was playing the carry, was always very, very comfortable with the Faceless Void. As we get the response from Purple Paradox. Spirit Breaker Silencer picked up in the second phase. Spirit Breaker, of course, an incredible answer to the Broodmother.
Yeah, I like the pick. Something cool. Pairs well with the Mirana as well. Kind of has this like global presence and it prevents the Broodmother from like ever showing in the lane. So yeah, something pretty nice response from Purple Paradox. See what GeekFam goes for here. Probably looking to pick up their mid hero. I think maybe some puck for Avatar mode, signature hero. Good against the puck and the Spirit Breaker, You'll Spire.
Radiant team ban. Puck.
There you have
Hog
it.
call. Definitely is a game where really the big concern about the puck is going to be when the Spirit Breaker gets Shadow Blade. Once they get that Shadow Blade on the Spirit Breaker, then like you said, the Mirana can look to combine with him as well. That's really the only time I think puck's going to be vulnerable in this game.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's just up to GeekFam to depends how the puck itemizes as well. You can always go for the Yules thing. He's not too worried if you have a like play in areas where you have sentries, you're kinda okay. It's also kinda hard to charge a puck because he just clears the wave without really like hitting the creep wave per se.
Oh, as we look towards the last phase here, Purple Paradox, I've got the 23rd pick and we are going to be looking for the carry here for them. Is there some heroes that you feel like it could be viable here to kind of cover some of the weaknesses that we see at the moment from Radiant?
I think Naga looks really solid for them. Surprised it's not removed from the hero pool yet. It's still unbanned, kinda ignore good against the Void and the Naga. Well, is there something that goes well with your draft? Maybe something a bit more unorthodox like Sven. But yeah, I do think Naga is definitely the best pick, and I would be really surprised if GeekFam don't ban it out here.
See what the call is going to be. Even Purple Paradox are banning Monkey and Morphling. So one thing to keep in mind, I guess potential reasoning why they're banning some carries is the fact that Narman, when he was playing on Army Geniuses, of course, in last year's DPC, Army Geniuses were actually picking up a decent amount of support void. So I'm not quite sure if this is something he's been continuing to play, but that's probably the big reason why Purple Paradox are banning it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it's a pretty decent Void carry game, though. I'm not too sure why they would want to fix it. Also, kind of rough banning their own heroes as they like a carry, you know.
10 seconds remaining.
Not too many heroes left in the pool that are good
5
against the Brood and the
remaining.
Void. Also need some Aegis taking potential or objective taking hero, per se.
Seems the lineup is kind of have a bit of everything here from Purple Paradox, but I don't. Do you like this 4-man that we see from them so far? Like it seems like this last pick. I don't know if it's going to be enough to kind of outround the lineup that they have.
I feel like they have a lot of fight, but they don't have like someone who turns the fight into something, you know, into buildings, into Roshan. Just something that scales or like even out carries this Void.
See what the last pick is going to be for Purple Paradox. Of course, you mentioned the Naga Siren. GeekFam made sure that one was not a potential here, so still covering their tracks if this Faceless Void is going to be pushed to the carry role or not.
Wonder what they'll go for here. Not a very easy pick.
Trying to think of what's left as well. You could Ursa, but you have issues with objective taking. Oh man, I don't know. I'm actually really intrigued on what you go for. Ursa helps out with Roche. Some pretty good matchups overall, but
Sven,
they do
we do see this
cool.
Sven.
Great call.
I think it's one of those like it's a good hero, but do we really play it? You know.
Alright.
It's the Scam TA, I believe, because he's definitely been spamming it in pubs. It's a +5 Void. All right, new Void player here, Roger.
I just want to quickly mention another name change. Avatar mode back to his old name.
Cox.
Not
Yeah,
not yeah, right. Interesting.
I like Avatar mode.
Yes, I do
Slightly
not.
biased.
I don't like Cox.
There's a chat wheel for you. But TA into Sven is kind of interesting to me because the new Warcry gives you armor, and Sven's generally seen as quote unquote a TA counter. But he is good against the other 4 heroes, so we'll see. Scam feeling confident. Probably the heroes he's played the most recently. TA.
How we feeling about this? It's a very interesting lineup from either side. Sven, of course, a carry that isn't as popular in the meta at the moment than GeekFam with their first game here with a new lineup. They go for a position 5 Faceless Void and the last pick Templar Assassin as well. So do we feel like this 24 TA is enough for GeekFam? Is it one of the kind of game-winning last picks?
I feel like if you want to force the Faceless Void into a position where he's played as support, your carry has to have like a really god tier pick, and I don't feel like this is a insanely good TA game. I think it's just okay. It's an okay TA game. Gives them Roche. It's a nice hero. Probably just comfort coming out from GeekFam.
We like comfort. Comfort's always important.
Oh,
So is this.
force.
Ah.
Thank you.
Dude, I'm being a little bit pessimistic, but another thing I don't like, dude, this goddamn Broodmother set. I hate the webs. I think they look they look horrible.
Yeah, they do. I'm not a fan of how webs look on the map in general, but it is what it is, I guess.
Is what it is. What can you do? What can you do, Roger? So, all right. This is going to be an interesting one for GeekFam to kick off their debut. Again, up against a team who is 5-1 at the moment. So, Purple Paradox, they've been taking the group stages by storm so far.
Valky on a new hero. I've not seen the Valky Pangolier yet so far, only the Tiny and Ember. Something different from them. Oh, here comes the pause.
There we go. Back into it. The classic pause to start us off. At least it wasn't straight away.
Same way with the Wraith Band. The trending offlaner item. We'll see Force building one as well.
Oh. Alright, gotta be looking at Wraith Bands a little bit more. Okay.
It's just the other 2 items got nerfed so hard that nothing's really like worth buying anymore. You kind of want like one item with a circlet, you know. Everyone just kind of has a circlet and it doesn't build into anything.
Well, like you mentioned as well, with Velky playing the Pangolier, this is something that we haven't seen from him so far throughout the group stages. But he has really been our standout player whenever we've been watching Purple Paradox. We tried our best to jinx him yesterday, but we weren't able to do so. Velky still just pretty much, I don't say put the team on the back, because Purple Paradox, everyone played incredibly well. But again, in both the games yesterday, he was a standout player. So very excited to see how he's going to be able to shape up here with the Pango.
I really like what Purple Paradox did. They put the Silencer top. I think it makes top lane much stronger for them. The Mirana wouldn't do too much up here against their heroes.
Roger?
Rogi?
Oh, he should be dead. Oh, okay.
Moody?
Yeah, actually,
Mercy from Moody.
he's just going to keep Roger at a low health pool. Doesn't want that first blood just yet. So 3-4-3 being the incredible position vibe player like you are. Let's get some theory craft going on. What are we expecting out of the Faceless Void in this lane?
Anoma is hiding in the trees. I mean, TA is a pretty independent hero as well. I think they'll do fine. He's just trying to soak up some damage. Not a huge fan of this Wraith Band. I think he needed more regen. Maybe he didn't expect the Silencer to be up there.
Arman's going to end up going down. Philizla. So able to strike first. Believe that was a Stormhammer into Arrow with how they're able to get the opener.
Yeah, very nice from them. Slightly coming ahead in all 3 lanes right now.
Is this a game where Radiant really need to be heavily prioritizing stacking because they have the Sven?
I think he does definitely benefit from that a lot. I think Sven in general, the way you want to play a hero is definitely similar to the Gyro or the TA, right? You just want to be way ahead, super farm, clear stack fight, clear stack fight. So yeah, I do think so, but it's kind of hard to leave top lane right now for Moody to stack. No boots,
Has been killed.
plus 5 life.
Top lane, Scam. I'm in a little bit of trouble at the moment. Same and Moody trying to put the pressure on. They'll turn to Roger instead. Festus Void doing whatever he can to soak up some of the damage for his Templar Assassin, but like you said, lane's looking like a really good start here for Purple Paradox.
Yeah, same mate choosing to go for the boots as well, so you can like kind of run people down. So pretty strong lane. It's good against the TA and the Void at least. Roger taking a lot of hits from Moody.
Bottom lane, getting pretty aggressive here. The Storm Hammer, I should say, has already been used, so they can't turn it around with the potential of the arrow setup, but seems like this is a lane where Radiant can definitely continue to have some kill threat. With the Broodmother early on, oh, they're going to go for the Snapfire instead. There's that first stun requiring to set up for the arrow. Force is going to try and put his body on forward. A lot of damage onto Feel as low at the moment. No level in the leap as well, so it's going to be requiring on the Fairy Fire to get him out of harm's way.
Force in trouble. Oh, shit. 10 stick, I believe he didn't press it in time.
I guess not expecting the burst from that second point in the stun from the Sven.
Yep. Nicely played. Pretty strong lane, just Sven stun, a lot of damage. Level 2 Starstorm arrow. Nothing to really stop the combo from them.
At least mid lane at the moment here. Velky up against the Puck is... You know, Cox is off to a pretty good start. 25-3 compared to the 27-5, so he's chilling at the moment with the Puck. Wonder when we're going to see his rotations, because he really needs to help the side lanes, as Skem should tick out to the Arcane Curse, and Roger might go down as well. Charge is going to be up in 5 seconds. Roger, for quiet, can time walk into the tree line before Seimei can follow on forward. Roger's really playing with fire at the moment. Nice use of the dash, but... I mean, it's cute and all, but he still goes down.
It's alright, he looked cool.
He looked cool, okay. So as long as you look cool and die, that's what matters.
To be fair, if he went right, he would have died anyway, I think. So, kinda same result.
Bottom lane, Force. There's the double stun. They could turn it around. Force has got plenty of one charges. There's Narman in position as well to capitalize on that opportunity. Beautiful bait out of Force, and they just thought the Snapfire was gone from the lane for a little bit longer.
Interesting, actually. The Sven choosing to go for face boots is not something you see. Usually Svens, I think they prefer just going for treads or the MOM rush.
Yeah. Let's say hero that being able to tread switch is really nice for this Sven. The bonus attack speed as well, considering you've got a crap load of damage, but not a whole lot of Algae to help out.
Velky uses the roll for the rune. Will we get there in time? It's close. Does
Is he
get
in
it. He
trouble?
might lose his life here. He's fine.
Is he?
Yeah, he's fine. It's close.
This
Does
is
his roll.
Yeah, there's advantage now for Neon. Cox has got the coil to play with. They're even considering Roger was trying to help set up for the for the rune, but this is now a bit of a window where with Velky not having Rolling Thunder, it's going to mean that Puck can make a rotation and the Pango can't really mirror this.
He doesn't really have any lanes where he can kill in yet, I think. The TA is kind of just jungling right now, and bot lane still. The Brute's not 6, doesn't really want to move there right now. I say that, but he's towards bottom, putting a bit of pressure, farming the jungle. We have 88 down here. Kind of scared because the puck is probably called out by his team that he's not in mid lane anymore.
Going to be very close to the level 6 on Force. This creep wave, they're going to make sure he gets the solo experience, so we'll have the ultimate now to play with to be able to stack up the spiders and a lot of burst potential as well. Orb's going to be able to scout them out. They see 88 on the Sven. See that phase boot's going to be able to protect him enough. A cookie on forward. The burst plentiful to be able to blow up the carry. And now Cock's going to be playing with the coil as well, but it's only onto the Mirana, so Velky can look to turn this around. He's in a great position to be able to bounce back off the wall. Instead, he's going to go for the Broodmother instead. He has the damage required to be able to kill off 4, so it's a 1-for-1. Oh, hang on a second. Fearless Law. A beautiful arrow, but it's not enough as Cox. He's got the orb back up. And he should be chilling for the moment. Almost from Purple Paradox, able to turn that kill around onto the puck and make it an even trade.
Yeah, they do end up defending their tower though, so not the worst from them. Looks kind of scary at the start, especially for Cox almost went down.
Dire's middle tower is
This
under
does give Skem an opportunity to go back to the lane. We saw him kind of playing in the jungle prior, but with none of the heroes from Purple Paradox up top, he's going to be able to get, I believe, 2 waves for free.
is under attack.
Bot lane, Valky heading down to defend the tower once again. We'll get clipped by the Observer Ward.
Do you feel like Velky he's going to cement himself down bottom, and then maybe one of the supports are going to look to take mid?
It's hard for him to just stay here because the puck kind of wants to initiate on him. If the puck does get the coil on him first, it's kind of hard for him to defend the tower.
Speaking of the puck, Cox going to be able to snag away the bounty room. Nice snatch and grab, and out he goes. Velky, again, is getting a lot of farm, though. 73 last hits, top of the last hit chart and the net worth chart as well. So this is going to be a pretty good diffuser blade timing. I mean, of course, that Lancer Pursuit, great for the Pangolier. Top lane, Roger. Looks like he's going to end up going down. He's going to proc the silence. Jump into the tree lane. Ain't going to be enough to protect the Faceless Void. Bottom lane. Velky will attempt to charge up with the Rolling Thunder. Doesn't really get much out of it, but maybe they can still bring down Snapfire thanks to the arrow, but he's got to be cautious now because Cox was waiting in the wings. They don't have the damage at the moment, just with the puck and the Broodmother, because Radiant is starting to shot to turn it around. As Moody needs a little bit more damage, and that'll come out thanks to the Arcane Curse.
Pretty good trade for Purple Paradox. Lose their highest net worth hero, not the best, but Sven is farming. The supports are super high now because of this as well. Mirana and Silence are both level 6 right now.
Double damage.
Just checked as well the jungle from Purple Paradox. Not seeing any stacks at the moment at the triangle, so I guess GeekFam are also a team I kind of would like some stacks for the Templar Assassin. They've got a double at the Heart and a double at the Ancients as well for Skem to fall back on.
Yeah, he's just chilling. Isla holding bot lane by himself. Roger on the way to block the Ancients. Nice ward.
Dire
Sees that there are no stacks.
What do we want to see out of Roger when he gets this level 6? Do you consider about holding the Chrono just for the tower defense top, or do you want to kind of use the Chrono to get your first tower of the game?
I think you just want to use it with Snap Out anywhere you can. It's kind of the only purpose of the Chronosphere this game, I feel.
Smoke up. With Purple Paradox, they're going to be able to counter that with their Moonlight Shadow. Velky is underneath an Observer Ward. He's going to continue to reveal himself as well to the right side. He's got the Mirana in nearby, but Mirana's got really low resources. And Cox is going to be able to jump in. Just 2 ultimates is all they need to be able to bring down the Pangolier. And this is going to be a trend that we'll see through a majority of this game. Top lane, Seimei. Making the attempt onto Roger. The Nether Strike to be able to follow up after the time walk forward. Roger hoping that Seimei doesn't get a bash. He's going to be fortunate enough at the moment. If he can juke through the tree line as well, and Roger buying enough time for this time walk to come up shortly. Seimei finally will be able to run into him in the tree line. Where are the bashes, dude? What?
Well, happens, Roger. Good hero. Time walks away. He has his chrono now. Might look to set up top. We see Puck running over with the Haste Rune and the Witchblade.
They're coming. They
Oh,
might be
Roger.
oh, they're gonna get the kill beforehand though. Roger still
Oh, no.
considers about dropping the chrono, but won't be able to do so fast enough. And the global silence actually covers the TP out from Seimei.
Well played. Get the tower, the kill, and they get out. Do expand global, but definitely dodge the bullet there. Roger heading out a bit too early. GeekFam does trade the bot tower though. Force, we see him like slowly taking over the jungle by himself now. Diffusal almost done on the Pango.
Another smoke as well from GeekFam. One of the kisses still on cooldown for another 35 seconds, and Radiant, they're gonna smoke themselves as well. Soon to have a team fight breaking out next to the T1 tower mid. Sven's gonna reveal himself on the lane. Let's see if it's gonna be an easy pick for GeekFam. They're gonna consider twice about going for the Sven, maybe thinking that Purple Paradox are playing behind him.
Very close to Shadow Blade on the Spirit Breaker as well, so that's when things are gonna start to ramp up for Purple Paradox, I believe. Diffusal done on the Pango. Ooh,
Or mid
Cox.
lane. Very awkward with the jump. Roger just waiting for an opportunity. This ward is giving them so much information, and there
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
okay.
Chrono out, Mortimer kisses. Bye-bye, Velky. What can you do, man? We're just going to see that again through the entirety of the game. It's going to be Coil into kisses, Chrono into kisses, and Radiant are going to need a response out of some pretty early BKBs. Otherwise, these ultimates are just easily going to guarantee kills.
A lot of small plays from GeekFam, not really ready to fully commit to anything. Tien, Brute still farming both sidelines. Nice kills to pick up.
With all that going on, Scam, even though we didn't have the greatest lane, one death on the Templar Assassin, again, the stacks that GeekFam were able to create is a big reason why he's top of the net worth at the moment. Dragonlance completed, 1,800 gold in the bank as well, and what are we hoping out of the TA in regards to the itemization? Do we want like a Blink Dagger, or is this kind of just the Deso maybe after the Dragonlance and playing for a little bit of farming speed?
I don't think you can afford to go for a dagger. Part 1. You kind of want just Dragonlance Deso, maybe get Roshan. Then you kind of play on the Aegis and take all the buildings. I think that's ideal for GeekFam right now. Especially considering the Rave Pack timing that's going to come out and force you on something to be able to play together with Roger.
They still get the
Oh,
charge on
Force in
Force,
trouble.
actually. So even though Roger eats the smoke gank, Force is still going to be vulnerable thanks to the Spirit Breaker, and now Pango as well connecting. And this is going to be the issue. Seimei with this Shadow Blade completed. We spoke about in the draft that the Spirit Breaker is a great answer to the Broodmother. Not in the lane, but through the early game, and really for the entire game afterwards. Once you get that little bit of vision, that's all you need to get the charge and always stay on top of him.
Yeah, nothing much to really deal with him now. We see both Narman and Cox trying to go for that Yule Scepter. Kind of far away, but they do need that item to deal with the Spirit Breaker. We see GeekFam doing a good job of constantly scouting and trying to block the Ancients, but Purple Paradox have not stacked a single time, I believe, this game.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any stacks as well.
Bot lane.
Again, making the attempt
Oh,
on
they
Force.
see him. Roger.
Good placement with the Sentra, however, but Roger, they still might get Force as well.
Ooh.
Dude, Seimei not getting fortunate with the bashes, so luckily enough that Brood's able to step on away out of danger, but they're really making sure that Brood has no opportunity to occupy this bottom jungle.
Yeah, heads up play from them. Heads up play from Roger as well. This kind of saved his Broodmare's life there. So 88 not willing to chase. Kind of too near the tower. Worry about the counter from GeekFam.
I think this is something that I've seen very often from Roger. Always impressed with his positioning, and his capability to read the game whenever the enemy team are looking to try and smoke and attempt to bring down his cause.
Yeah, he kind of understands that he needs to enable his Broodmare to take back this bottom area. Otherwise, it's very hard for them to play. Yeah, that's so complete now on Scam. That feels so weird to say, man. This post 5 guy has a Deso.
Mid lane,
Oh,
scam.
mid lane.
Refraction's gone. Oh, the Nether
Oh,
Strike
the
back
arrow.
into the arrow as well. That's perfect from Radiant. And the damage is enough. And now with the Global Silence follow-up, they might be able to get more, but the stuns and abilities are off the mark here. So they won't be able to capitalize with the second round of abilities. And now Velky's going to be
Okay.
vulnerable. The rest of the team just completely split away from the Pango. Nothing they can do to protect Velky.
Dire
Not the worst of trades, but GeekFam, they do lose their tier. What those Sven's constantly farming. You see Sven take over net worth just from that one death. Almost 1k go ahead soon. Blink Dagger complete. Something we didn't talk about this game is they do have the global silence for the Snapfire Kisses, which is a lot of GeekFam's damage until Tia and Broodmare are more online.
Does seem like, though, for GeekFam, there's going to be a really big opening here now with this Deso and Wraith pack. Like, you want to be playing around mid. You want a team fight where then if you're able to get a couple of kills, you can definitely get tier 1 tower and also Roshan. And well, in fact, this tier 1's already going to go down.
has fallen.
Ooh, Cox.
Arrow? Oh.
We'll hit
gets
him
a
roll in
connection.
one.
They're going to jump in. Look
Oh,
at the
they
burst from
can-
afar. A little
this
bit
is
too late with
really
the
bad
Wraith
for
pack, and now they're going to be able to reveal the blink as well as Sven's into the middle. Force is
see
caught off
Scam?
guard. Roger's going to have
Oh,
to
no
use
use.
more of a defensive core. No, Scam is nearby,
Oh,
but they've got to be
Scam's in
careful,
trouble.
man. This is not a team fight you can take here if you're Radiant. As they just move over inside the river. GeekFam might even lose all 5 as Sven onto another member. Say they can easily follow up behind the tier 1 tower. It's Purple Paradox. That's the fight that we're waiting for. Beautifully done from them. Great timing of the blink from 88 as well.
Yeah, they weren't expecting that. All of the back of the arrow from the Mirana, who is kind of close to his Rift Pack as well, is kind of looking scary for GeekFam. 2 deaths in a row for Scam. Sven taking over the net worth. We also talked about this Warcry against the Death, so bonus 12 armor currently, level 3. Almost level 4. Bot lane. Sneeko gonna show his face here, Force. Gonna get scouted out. Maybe.
It looks like they're baiting Force. TPs are coming down. They've got Kisses coiled to play with. Radiant do see Cox and Roger starting to rotate through the river.
Radiant's
And Velky's just going to look to TP
Oh.
up. Moody will as well. But Cox just gets nearby to be able to land the double coil. Same is playing with some status resistance, however, so he's going to be okay. He's able to just waltz on out of there.
It's fine. Ended up just losing the silencer. Could have been a lot worse, but GeekFam do get a bit of the map back.
Still, this is a lineup that you'd really expect to have Roshan by this stage of the game. Like that fight around mid with the Wraith Pact and the Deso. You're wanting these timings to hit at the kind of at the same stage in the game where then if you win a team fight, you get that Aegis and all of a sudden you start to control the map.
Yeah, I think the way their draft ended up going is they need these
Bottom lane?
snapfire there. Ooh.
Same,
Big
mate.
breaker.
Speaking about the kisses, they're going to require it for that little bit of extra damage to be able to bring down the Spirit Breaker. Now, mid lane as well, Velky using a Rolling Thunder, and the burst is enough to bring down Roger's position 5 Faceless Void.
Some kills being traded across the map. Cox still pushing out top. They may not expecting the use from Hustler.
Top lane. Sven's going to go for the solo kill to Cox. Not able to find kind of that point blank stun with the Stormhammer. Enough timing for Cox to be able to react. Wonder if he considers an Orchid at some stage this game.
I think that's like the normal build, right? You go into Orchid after you disassemble the Echo Saber for the Bloodthorn, but he chose to go back for the Echo Saber, so we see something a bit different here.
And he just queues it up again, so...
Okay.
There you go. Maybe just, I suppose, wants the Echo to be able to help out a little bit till he gets that.
Yeah, very possible.
Net worth lead, though, still, it was, I think, up to 5,000 at one stage here for Purple Paradox. Mid lane Scam. It's got a couple of heroes playing behind him at the moment. The Global Silence is out early on. They're going to really put a lot of emphasis to try and bring down the TA, and they'll be able to do so. And now Valky trying to catch up the Cox, but he doesn't jaunt to the orb, so he's still directly on top of some of the Radiant members. Great timing with the blink, however, from the Puck. He's going to be able to get out of harm's way as the arrow will fly on past.
Yes, I understand that they see us here and he has no BKB, he just gets stunned and dies. Very well played from Purple Paradox, recognizing how strong they are. Force tipping to top lane. They do want to defend this Roche, but it looks like they will not have the chance.
Oh, they're going to be too late with that God Strength back up.
Same A. Oh, scouting. He sees Force.
Oh, and they're going to be able to get the stun follow up now.
Oh, the defusal.
Caught outside the river, but Cox to safety. Gonna try and disrupt the damage for the moment. Roger has the threat of the chrono as well, but where's the damage? Where's the boys? No one's here to be able to capitalize on the bubble. Roger's gonna try and leap in and get the damage, but this is a 5 void. He doesn't have anything in the arsenal to be able to get the kills. Finally, they'll deal with the Aegis. Not the fight and not the defensive Roche that they were hoping for on GeekFam.
They almost didn't get the Aegis, but they ended up taking it away. Something small for GeekFam. Can't complain too much about it, considering how the fight went in the first place. Okay, I'm almost at his BKB.
Dire are scanning.
Oh, well, like you mentioned though, still this goddamn war cry.
Yeah, it feels like such a lack of damage. GeekFam's like heavily dependent on these Mortimer kisses, but the Global Silence is what it just stops it. There's no counterplay for a Snapfire.
And they don't really have a lineup that can get on the silencer. Like, Puck has a little bit of mobility, but I don't think he can jump that deep only with a Yule Scepter to protect him. Like, he will be vulnerable if he tries to disrupt the silencer spellcasting.
Yeah, we have a Wraith Pack and the Offering Aura on top of Fierce Law as well, reducing so much damage. It's so hard for his TA right now. GeekFam looks like they're gonna go into split push mode for a while, get more items. But it's not easy against a Spirit Breaker.
Look at this ward from GeekFam. Sees the 3 members. Well aware that this Moonlight Shadow is occurring. Early use of the Rolling Thunder as well from Valky, so they're going to get nothing out of a couple of ultimates on Purple Paradox.
A very, very, very early use of Rolling Thunder. I think he did it from close to his tier 4.
And there's just so much vision that GeekFam are playing with. Purple Paradox still considering about defending the tower. They're even going to TP the Spirit Breaker in. Cautious of that ward placed behind the tower, recognizing that was probably the only way that GeekFam were able to scout out that Moonlight and the Rolling Thunder play. Chill it out though. Scam. We spoke about his BKB. They haven't taken a fight with it just yet, but since that has been completed, still finding a decent amount of farm. 2k gold in the bank. We'll be working on a Blink Dagger as his next item as well.
Sven changes up his item build, wants to go for the AC. I like this a lot. I love this against the Temper Assassin. You stop so much of his damage.
Yeah, I was going to mention, like, if this is a game where he even considers buying the Aghanim Shard. But I guess you're probably just... You're going to wait for the potential of second Roche.
Yeah, you don't really want to spend the gold buying it. You want it, but you don't want to buy it, you know?
Yeah.
Scary things.
Even awkward.
Double damage, true.
Is that not a better neutral item for the Puck? Not really.
Nether Shawl is pretty decent, I think.
Do they have another shawl? Oh, that's Radiant. Oh, who they've called out? Roger. Not the most...
Trying to ward.
What can they do with this kill? Maybe top lane, considering about putting some pressure on, but bottom being this trigger lane force is constantly putting...
They want to go on Valkyrie, I think.
Pucks, there we go. There's the jump, the coil into the kisses, the burst. It's not enough. Valky, he gets the shot off on the turnaround. Oh no, Dai just needed a little bit of extra damage and they weren't able to find it. and ready to bring multiple members to keep Velky alive and can capitalize on that attempt.
I want to say Silencer had balls of steel, not flashing global silence there. Pango almost died, gets the roll off.
I think that's enough gold for his Aghanim Scepter now. Onto Velky.
So farmed. Closing in on the TA's net worth. Scam, we see him go for the Crystallis, has a dagger and Lincoln's queued up, but decides otherwise.
Maybe just... the crits are very nice versus a lineup that's going to have a decent amount of armor to play with. So, I mean, you mentioned earlier as well, potentially GeekFam having some damage issues if the Kisses is negated from the global silence. So, potentially that's a reason why he's gone down for this crit stick.
Yep. That being said, we do see the AC completed on the Sven as well, as it flying out right now.
The second row seems like it's just so incredibly important for the status of this game. The net worth lead's continuing to grow for Purple Paradox, but if Dai get this Rosh and find the Aghanim Shard, then could see an avenue back in.
The game feels so hard for GeekFam. This TA, he cannot really show his face in the fights if the Spirit Breaker or Sven is not in control.
Smoke up.
Once Valky gets this Basher, it's going to be way hard. Oh, Narman.
Oh, they got a glimpse of Scam.
Oh, Scam.
Oh, they saw him under the ward. Arrow's gonna fly and clip as well. What a placement. Purple Paradox. That cliff ward as well, deep inside the jungle, just able to scout out him for the slither of time, and that's all they needed for the charge. And now they've got it onto Cox as well. And Sven's nearby. Oh, they're gonna miss out on the stun. Still got a little bit of vision to play with. Does he go for the blind blink into the tree line? 88 will not attempt it.
GeekFam still have to play the split push game. They need a much more net worth from their puck and TA. Not really able to kill heroes right now. Would like to see a gem come out from Purple Paradox, so we have it on Moody actually. It hasn't gone back to Sweepy's side of the map.
Feels like GeekFam have been trying for such a long time to get this tier 2 tower. 20 minutes in and it still is yet to go down. Another cross map smoke. Say me.
Say me?
Hang on. The boys
Here
aren't
early.
here.
Yes, BKB though. He's fine. Dude, they do not want to give this tower. They're like, no way. They're still running in with the smoke.
They see the TA at the Ancients. They know that Skem's not with the team. Cock's going to be the first point of contact. They might look to move on over. There's the jump in. BKB and God Strength used early on. The Yule's going to be able to kite them for the moment. Nama's going to try and get some repositioning, but Valky with the wraparound in the river with the ultimate holds him down, but it's an even better corner from Roger. Lines him up for the side blade to Skem's trying to get the damage out, but he's unable to right click. Samey instantly turns in attention over to the Templar Assassin. They'll line up the arrow as well, just making sure that Skem can never right click for free inside these team fights. There's no damage coming out from the TA at all.
Yeah, that's rough. Such a beautiful chrono from Roger, but unfortunately they, as we said before, do not have much damage right now. Forced to itemize for these Lincoln Spheres on both the puck and the TA. Kinda in a very rough situation.
Just doesn't seem like the game gets any easier for Skem. You were mentioning it wasn't going to be an easy game in general anyway when they picked it as the 24th into some of the matchups.
They just last picked this, right? Felt like it would do much more than it should. Octarine core on the Pango. That's interesting. No Basher. Can't say I've seen this. Big fan of cool item builds.
Are you...
Who say me? Finds Roger.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord, look at the damage!
Oh my. This guy just doesn't press his ultimate, he just knows he's gonna bash all the time. Force? Oh, Force is in some trouble.
That is indeed. Snapfire was considered. Oh, Valkyrie's gonna
Scam?
run into
Oh,
TA as well.
no.
Scam! What's he doing here? BKB's out, but he's gonna get nothing out of this. Can't even right-click a single member. Cox is gonna try and jump in and provide a little bit of space for the TA, but that's not even possible, as now they'll go for Nam, and afterwards just GeekFam playing incredibly disconnected.
It's so rough. It's so rough. It feels almost impossible for GeekFam to take fights right now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
This is not the return to position 1 you'd be hoping for Scam. I tell you what, 1 and 7.
Middle tower has
That is true. He has some nice CS though. Wink wink.
At least the CS is looking good, right? That's the main thing, yeah?
That's true. You gotta have something, you know. Look at the positives in life.
Okay. You are half glass full or half glass empty?
My glass is always completely full.
What?
I don't know what I'm saying.
Alright. The glass is always full. Full of good things, full of bad things.
Full of amazing things.
Nice. Love to see it mid lane.
Oh, is Lincoln completed on the puck.
Still got to be cautious about the charge through, though. And even the AoE Stormhammer as well. But another thing they're going to be worried about this second Roast and how they set themselves up to stop Purple Paradox from getting it. And well, it looks like they're not even going to try and consider about coming to the area.
Yeah, GeekFam back to dodging mode on the Lincoln's on Scam as well. Feel like he... Spirit Breaker's just really controlling him really hard. The only way I see GeekFam like taking his game right now is maybe another 15-20 minutes. When they have like a lot more damage, I think. Or a big chrono from Roger maybe with the side blades.
No. Speaking of the Ag Shard prior on the Sven, he's going to get that from second Roche now. He's even got Blast Rig as well. So just so much armor on this hero.
And the
Dude!
20 talent. And the
What?
20 talent plus 54 armor.
Holy crap, dude. What is that?
What is that is right. He has 40 armor without Warcry.
I think I got 67 with it activated. TA is actually going to tickle him.
I'm not gonna lie, I think this Blast Rig is kinda overkill.
You reckon? Nah, come
I
on.
don't know. Come on man, get the tunic, you know. Carry player with Blast Rig.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I would like to see Scam hit him.
Oh,
Mid
no.
lane?
Tower is under attack.
Bash? Bash? Bashes? Hello? Are you there? You home?
Oh no, the spiders.
Oh. Oh, no. I guess the tunic's going to be nice on...
Oh, he's touching the outpost. There's a
Uh-oh.
Spirit Breaker, Roger.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh, the damage! And I'll save it. Oh my god, dude. Where are the heroes going? Just getting evaporated. They're doing so much damage.
You know what? All that matters is that he dodged the charge.
Right. Okay, very cool. So at least you have a flashy play before you just get 2 hit.
Scam setting up on Moody. Moody has a Ghost Scepter. Is he gonna drop the sentry a bit too high? Does not see Scam.
Dire's middle tower is
That
under
was close.
If Scam pops out,
Oh, Fresla is
does.
gonna be walking there.
Scam pops out. Roger's even going to TP in as well.
There's no fear from Moody.
Cox now.
The manliest of spots.
How do they take this fight on GeekFam? Radiant doing such an incredible job to protect the ward. There's just no way they can reoccupy their triangle.
Yeah, it's kinda rough. Kinda rough.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's
Your
bottom
tower's
tower
going to go
is
down.
falling.
Last outer tower of the game for GeekFam. All sides of the map's going to be under threat. Top lane, Seimei is scouting out Scam. They
Lincoln.
know that he TP'd up here. Oh no. Oh, this is so sad. They scan as well. They know this is
they
happening.
know.
Oh, the
Oh,
charge
the
from
charge.
Samei onto the creeps to pop him out of the meld. That's so cute. Oh my lord.
Oh, that's rough. Your carry going down once again. 10k net worth gap from the opposing carry. Sven. Strangling now completed 50 armor. Very strong. Valky has a Hex queued up. It's kind of interesting. I would expect to see the Basher or Abyssal with the Aghanim's. Much more common.
Structures are fortified. Radiant structures are fortified.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I feel with the Lincolns, like, you definitely want the Basher. I'm not sure.
Here comes the siege and
Dire's top
here comes a defensive use of the Mortimer Kisses, and now where's the damage going to be in the team fight without it? You're putting a lot of pressure onto Skem to be able to find this damage, and
Cox.
they're not going to have Cox. Oh no. And Velky, he's in as well. Rolling Thunder, initial stun, follow-ups there onto Nam, and he's going to look to move over the right side to zone away GeekFam from protecting the Snapfire. They're really hesitant about going for the finishing blow until Sven jumps in the middle, but again, he doesn't have the damage as well with the God Strength being on cooldown. And now Roger. The Chrono's there, but Skem just TP'd in. So they're not going to get full utilization out of the bubble, and this is looking mighty over. Arrow's going to fly on past, but with a whiff indeed.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
His TA is tickling the Sven. He's tickling him. No damage.
So it's what it is 3-4-3. It's the new team kind of trend we have. Same thing happened with Fnatic. You know, game 1 yesterday for them in their debut didn't look good, but game 2 they just wiped the floor. That's what
That's
it
true.
is.
That is true. That is true. It's the warm up.
Yes. Warm up. Get the juices flowing.
Scan. The idiot doesn't care. Just wants to hit the buildings.
Dude, why would he? Look how much armor he has. Like,
It's true.
oh, what is that, dude?
They out of here.
Another full set of barracks. Second full set. Probably going to look to take one last fight from Dire with the Chrono. No, they're actually not even going to wait for it. They do have a really good ward to play with at the triangle. Scouting out 3 members of Raiden. They can catch them off guard. No Aegis as well in this fan. Cox gets a jump. Oh, the arrow though. Oh, the arrow before the coil now, but the turnaround as well. The global silence should enable them to have a perfect start to the team fight. As Seimei even making space, grouping them all up so Velky can go for the cleanup. Holds them down. Nothing they can do with the right clicks. Even though Skem is under the cover of the BKB, the bash is too much for them to deal with, and that will be all she wrote. That was what a dominant game 1 for the boys on Radiant. Purple Paradox, alright.
41-10. What a scoreline. Very clean game. Punished a lot of GeekFam's lack of damage and lack of net worth on their heroes. Some itemizations where they couldn't really come together as well.
It was definitely not the debut you're looking for out of GeekFam.
It's alright.
That's right,
It ain't
exactly.
over.
Just what about this Faceless Void 5? Are we putting this one in the bin? Are we like, all right, let's maybe pull it out in 3 weeks and let's let it cool off a bit. Let's potentially play it in a couple weeks down the line.
I mean, I think I understand if you're like moving it away for a really high value last pick, but this TA clearly had a lot of issues this game. It wasn't a very high value pick. Credits to Purple Paradox though. I think putting Silencer in the top lane really made their early game super strong. They ended up doing well in both Silencer because of that.
From the lanes to the early game and a lot of the rotations from Purple Paradox, a big reason why they're able to take this game 1 victory. Again, very convincing from them and pretty much what we've seen through a lot of their games as well. Valky at one stage was like 4-4, but he's going to end the game 12-4-18. So another great game from him and all the other members as well, continuing to be a really scary team. It doesn't matter who they're up against. Purple Paradox able to bring it straight to GeekFam in this game 1. So an incredible performance from them. We'll see what GeekFam are going to be able to do. Go back to the drawing board. Try and set yourselves up with the draft and see if you can hit back and end up tying the series. But, of course, we got to break. We need to set the stage, wait a couple minutes, get the teams and the players ready to go. And then when we come back, we've got Game 2 for the BTS Pro Series 13.